Well, evening, guys. I will admit before we start that this is my second attempt. First attempt I did a video in HD and it was just shy of 2 gigs, so I've already taken the cellophane wrapper off this. I did want everything to be first hand, but there we go. I've washed it out, stripped it down, and here we go. It's the box it comes in. Just stay on the back, that's the first RTA with the biggest deck for Clapton build. Griffin features a 2-post velocity style deck, 16.1mm with 2 post holes. Right, so please note the tank, close liquid flow before filling. Yeah. Nice little plastic box, what we all know they come in these days. Spare glass. There's your first look at the Griffin. Top fill. I'm using a mobile phone so it doesn't focus very well. There we go. Threads are super nice. It's got a, I'm assuming it's standard 510. Let's try. No, it's not. It's not a 510 drip tip. Try something else just to make sure. Yep, it's definitely not a 510. It's a huge drip tip, like a 10mm bore. So you can't use your own drip tip on it. You have to use the one that's come supplied with adjustable airflow at the bottom. It's pretty standard these days, and also adjustable juice flow. In the box we've got, stick that on this little stand. As you can see, a spare glass. What we got hiding underneath, as usual. What we got? A little bag of goodies. Let's take that and throw it out the way. Spare O-rings. Oh, green gaskets, so you can change the colours on the bottom. Green, black, or clear. Got the clear on at the minute. Allen key, spare grub screws. 510 drip tip adapter. So you can put your own drip tip in. Push the adapter in first, and put your own drip tip in. It's cool. So, airflow. Yep, as we know, huge airflow, Cyclops style airflow. Really easy draw. Let's split the tank in half. Now it splits on that groove there. So take the glass. It's fully dismantleable. Chimney section. Spare glass. O-ring, O-ring. You can see that juice flow better there if I strip it down. Huge juice fill holes. So that is our velocity style deck. Size of that baby. Big airflow holes. I understand as well this little ring here, you can take that off if you want. I'm going to leave it on and use it as a guide for the wicks. Right, let's build some coils. If you've never built on a velocity before, dead easy. Probably one of the easiest decks to build on a velocity style deck. I'm going to put Claptons in it. I did have a little think, but it's designed for big Claptons. That's a 3mm bit I've got in the Coil Master, and I'm using 24 gauge Clapton. It's NI80. I prefer NI80s to Canthal. So as soon as I've already done this, I do know I can fit 5 wraps in there. So 1 wrap, 2 wraps, 3 wraps. If you've never used these, 4 wraps, 5 wraps. Shall I do 5? 6. I'll do 5. They are dead easy to use. Everyone should have one. Perfect coils every time. If you want to do a spaced coil, there's plenty of videos on YouTube. You stick your nail in and stretch it, and you've got a spaced coil. That's one. I've pre-cut the wire just to try and speed things up a little bit. Since last time it was 40 minutes long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure your tails both face the same way. I always stick them back on backwards and press them on. Make sure the coil's touching. Make sure your legs are straight. Anyway, we'll fiddle with all this in a minute. So there's his 2 coils. Take the 3mm bit out of there because I need that. Put all that to one side. Right. So let's fire these away. Now, if you've never built on a velocity before, and get it in focus. 4 holes. Because of the way your legs come off your coil, 1 top, 1 bottom, we'll use 1 top, 1 bottom on the velocity. Push your coil in. I always keep the rod in. And I'll push the coil as tight up as I can get it. I'll show you why in a minute. Always worked for me. Nip it down. Wouldn't worry about over tightening it using the 24 gauge Clapton. You're more likely to strip your grub screws. So just nip it down, you'll see the coil start to move the wire. And when you start to straighten it, I'll pull it, put your fingers in, I'll pull it away from the centre, out towards the edge where the air hole is. That tightens the coils up on your little your screwdriver, whatever you're using. Make sure they're pretty square. Okay, I'm just going to make sure they're nipped again. I'm always checking these. I'm quite anal about it. Trim off the excess. I know most of you guys have already done all this, but we'll just talk the newbies through it. Again, one side top and bottom, so it's actually opposites when you flip it round. Get the coil jig back in. Press them up tight, as close as you can get it. If it's a bit awkward, if it's springy wire, give them a little tug this side. Help you pull it in tight. Nip it down. I must admit how clean this is. Came out of the box super clean. No oil residue on it, no machine oil, anything like that. Now, I am very anal about making sure my coils are equal. So they want to be same distance from the centre each side. They also need to be parallel that way. Got to look equal. And that coil there looks... yeah, it's alright. I'm going to snip the ends off. Dead easy to get in to cut these wires as well with these velocity decks. Put your finger on the end like that. Stops your wires springing off and shooting all around your room. Anyway. So. Give me a little tweak, make sure they're looking okay. Now what I will do at this point is just take your chimney. Make sure it fits, have a little look down the inside. Still clear inside even with 3mm coils. I reckon you could maybe get another wrap or 2 in there. Or even go up to a 3.5. So, let's fire this off. Actually stick it on my ohms meter. 5 wraps 24 gauge. It should come out about 0.2. But this is new Clapton and I'm not quite sure if I'm keen on it yet. It's fluctuating between 1.6 and 0.16, 0.19, but when we heat it up, fuse them together a little bit, it'll be better. Right, need a mod. What am I going to use? Don't want to upset down and use the wise mech. So we'll see if it'll fire on my E-leaf. With being 1.6 it might not fire. 0.16. It fired for a second. Let's have a look. See if it'll go. See if I can get it to go again. No, it's not going to fire on. Oh, it is. Atomize law. Must be right on its limits. Thought if I fired down to 1 ohm these. It's at 0.1 of an ohm. Pinch and pulse, pinch and pulse. That's what they tell you. Get them glowing, hold it for a few seconds. That's it. You can see this on camera. Make sure they're glowing evenly. Right, I think that'll do. What have we got? 0.25, which is what roughly a 3mm should be. 5 wraps, it should be about 0.24, 0.25, something like that. Yeah, they're rocking right. Okay. Let's get some cotton. Don't ask me if it's Muji or whatever, it's Japanese. Right, I know I've got 3mm. It's quite thin, this one. You get different thicknesses. 3mm coils. This is just practice, this. Practice. You'll learn to judge it about 6mm roughly. If it's a 3mm coil, I know I can roughly get 6mm in it. Take the outer edges off. Everyone's done this, but you know, take the little outer piece off. Suppose you can leave it on, I don't know. Just what I do. Make sure your mod's turned off. Don't want to fire it while you're putting the cotton in. Now we'll make a little sausage. Just gently roll it up like you're rolling a cigarette. See, everything points back to Fag's done it. Right. I always roll it on my leg. Doesn't want to be tight, still wants to be slack. We'll just spin the ends up. Bit of tension. Backing up a little bit there, a bit of extra fluff on it. Yes, I use one piece for 2 sides because I'm tight. I'm from the north of England. Before anybody else has a bash. What's the point of wasting it? There's plenty there. Right. What are these? What's been cut off? So you seem to find as a rule of thumb, it's just keep your scissors level with the side, so it touches the head there, and that tends to be about the right length for all these type of bodies. Now I think that's a fraction shy. Luckily I can just pull a bit through. What we're trying to do is get your cotton down to this groove here so it goes inside this hole, but you don't want to come below it. There are a number of ways of doing this, but this is the way I do it anyway. Right. Now then, give me a little fluff up. And then I'm going to wet them. I'm going to put some juice on them, which makes them easy to get inside the holes. Why do I fluff them up? Because I do. Why do we do anything? Because we do. leg looks a fraction short. Right, let's try anyway. I don't want this video to be huge, so I'm rushing a little bit. It will take a little bit more time normally. Take as much time as you need to. If you wet the wicks as well, it pre-primes it, so you can get it going straight away. Right. Take something pointy. In my case, my tweezers. Start feeding your wick down into that little hole. Same time, you want to make sure you don't cover your airflow holes. You don't want to pack it in here, because obviously it needs to draw liquid up. If it's packed in too tight, it's not going to draw too slack, and you get dry hits. I was going to say obviously, but some people don't know this. It's all comes with experience. When you wake up in the morning and your juice is dumped all over your mod, you know you need to put a bit more wick in it. And I have had it happen. Until you get confident enough, screw your hatch off on a night, take it off. Right, we're getting there. Again, make sure your airway's clear. Make sure everything's pretty equal. Fire it up. She's rocking. Chimney back on. Get that screwed down tight. Just going to whip it off. Yeah, because I put a bit too much juice on when I was wetting the wicks and it splattered everywhere. Make sure you've got a seal here where your glass sits on. Make sure you haven't dislodged it or anything. Obviously you've got your seals on the top. Put your chimney in. Now one thing I have noticed, it does spin very easily for your juice flow. So I bet you could knock it and get a dry hit, but we'll soon see. How easy is that to fill? You could throw the liquid in. Absolutely. Right, we're filling it full. Well, we'll put some in anyway. Strawberry yogurt. Now, I've been dripping this for the last week or two because it just wasn't working right in the natty. That is dead easy to fill. Show me juice holes are open. Close the airflow off. Give it a couple of torques. Hit it a couple of times without firing the mod. See if you get any air bubbles coming up. But I know I soaked it anyway, so there's going to be plenty of juice in there. Right, we'll see if I can alter my camera and you can see me vaping it. Dum, dum, dum. Right. Here we go. Evening, guys. Let's have a look on the E-leaf. 50 watts, 0.21 ohms it's ended up at. Best open the airflow back up there. Juice flow's open, airflow's open. Well, it works. Oops. Oh, very good, was it? My poor camera fell. Right. Where was I? Yeah. Now, the expression on my face last time was absolutely amazing, but as I say, the video was too big. I wanted first impressions, and my impressions of this are, it fucking rocks. It really does rock. I have played with the OBS. It's definitely on par with the OBS. The flavour compared to my dripper, and I mean, I've got, what have I got? AT3, I've got Tofu, Troll, I've got Mutant XV4, all running Claptons, twisted coils. The flavour's better than my dripper. Now that's saying something. The way I've whipped it there, it's a very wet vape. Sometimes you can get like, you just know it's dry and dries your mouth, but yeah, it's like a moist vape. Now I prefer that. It's very much like the vape you get off the Urwell Crown. You sort of get to taste the liquid as well. Airflow, it's loads of airflow, loads of airflow. Fine for me. It's like having your dripper open full. God, that is some amount of vapour. What can I say? Well impressed. Cheers, Lee. You're a star. That's fantastic. And that's the end of it. Oh, look. I have to turn around to turn it off. Bye.